paint this picture. Like, what does the right guy look like? Like, what does Mr. Material look like for you? No, I hear what you're saying, but I mean, the experience that most men have is that they find that the vast majority of women tend to pass on guys that have kids unless they're incredibly high value, like they're wealthy, they're influential, they've got a lot of status, or good looking, all that sort of stuff. It's just an interesting observation I wanted to pass and sort of like, see what you guys are saying in the comments about stuff like that. But I think that's fascinating. I want to come back to you though, Catherine, because I mean, you're talking about like he has to be the right guy. So paint this picture. Like, what does the right guy look like? Like, what does Mr. Material look like for you?
Well, I would like for him to definitely be someone that takes care of himself, because I had an old boss and what she said resonated with me. Like, if you can't take care of yourself, like health wise, whether that's physical health, mental health, spiritual health, she's like, how am I going to be able to confide in you that you're going to also take care of me? And she also does that in like her business operations as well. So like, cause that speaks volumes, yeah. So I'm just going to put it that. So there's many different facets to him taking care of himself. And I'm finding, especially now that I'm getting older, I am definitely noticing the men that have put in the inner work on themselves to overcome things or be able to level up in that way. So I would just want a man to be a good father. Obviously, I really want him to be a good husband or partner. But ultimately, like, I know myself, like, I'll be okay. So that would suck 100% if he dipped out on me. But as long as he's going to be like a good dad, And so, yeah, I'm probably going to want someone that's educated and hardworking, someone that knows how to properly manage their finances, or is at least proactively taking the steps to get there. And so I also need someone who is ambitious, because I'm incredibly ambitious, where I grew up in the middle of nowhere in a small town. I ended up going to UCLA, huge achievement. I get to be one of those 3% that went on to go get my bachelor's. So I've overcome a lot in my life. And so that would be important to find someone that meets me there on that level. Also, like, how do they treat other people? Like, when we're out and about, I'm very much coming from a small town. Like, I'll chat up the person at the coffee bar. That's just like who I am. And so it's like the little things that ultimately matter the most to me, because someone could be like wealthy, like rich, and good looking, but if they're an asshole, I'm not going to look at them twice, to be completely honest, because that, like, I could be like very wrong, but I would rather have someone that would be maybe not like the most like financial, like high earner, but as long as I know that they like have all of the other aspects to be a good father and a good husband, I would go more after that person than just solely the person off of finances. Because I also live in Orange County. Like, I know like the kids that like grow up with like the Corona Del Mar parents, and like they end up like being like riffraff. Like, it doesn't matter, finances isn't that all to me. Does it make life much easier? 100%, completely agree with that. I don't know.
A lot of the qualities that you're describing, though, you're often going to find in men that you might consider to be assholes. And one of the things that I think ladies don't understand is that the sorts of qualities you're looking for, able to, provide for a family and a roof over your head and children and food and all that sort of stuff. Like, one of the struggles that Danielle's dealing with right now with lower income is the guys that are successful. I mean, guys that get shit done in the world, they're generally assholes. It's assholes that get stuff done in the world usually, right? I know that some people don't like to hear that, and they'd rather hear something like kindness and thoughtfulness and giving is usually what gets things done in the world, but it's not. Quite often it's the opposite that accomplishes things. So how do you reconcile like the right amount of asshole with what you want out of a long-term relationship or husband?
Right amount of asshole. So, gosh.
How old are you right now?
I'm 30. So
30,
I feel like the only way to appropriately answer that would be, I don't know, worried. Like, okay, like maybe he could be like assholes like out in like his business meetings because he's like head honcho president guy. and he's got to slam it down on the board in the boardroom. That's fine. But when he's around me or our children, like, I'm going to need him to turn that off and be like the loving father. Because again, if you're into psychology, where I've been diving deep into attachment theory lately, if you have someone that's like really successful in earning, but is like too concerned with like going out and like paying this stuff, but not spending enough like home at time, like one-on-one, like with the kids, and then kind of goes like touches base on like the whole daycare thing. Like, you also have to be aware of like raising a securely attached child as well. So I'm looking at probably too many things, honestly.
Are you getting audio problems, Moff, with hearing?
Yeah, it's almost like the headphones aren't working, or it's coming through your tablet or whatever it is. It sounds like I'm hearing a lot of echo, but I can hear you. It's not great, but it's okay.
All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here, where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.